So I'm in Votkinsk, which is in Udmurtia, which is a region in Russia. So Votkinsk is famous. It's not really famous at all, actually. It's like in the middle of nowhere, close to the Ural Mountains. It takes about 15 hours to get here by train. And it is the hometown of Pyotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky. I don't know why in English they write Tchaikovsky T-C-H, because in Russian it's just C-H. You know, so it's the letter Ch. But anyway, so being that I'm here, I thought we'd go take a look at his home, where he grew up, where he was born and where he grew up, which is now a museum. And it's a little dvorets. It's like a little house mansion type thing. It's pretty neat, but it's a museum now. So let's see if we can go take some footage. Okay, so I got in, I asked, they said I can take pictures. I think that means I can film as well, just without a flash. So that's good. I think I'm the only one here right now. It's like I don't see anybody else, and it's really windy out, and it's pretty cold, so I don't think there's a lot of people gonna be here. But anyway, so Tchaikovsky was born into a family that was a military family, a pretty well-established military family. So a lot of these Russian well-to-do families, you know, would have these little properties, so to speak. Maybe something similar to like English kind of mansion property type things. But there were, I think, a lot more of them in Russia than in England, say, and they were smaller size-wise in general. So his family owned this property in this town called Votkinsk. And he was born here. He grew up. He was born in 1840, and grew up here with the expectation, his family's expectation, of him to become a military officer and continue the family tradition. As we know, he obviously did not do that, and became one of Russia's most famous composers. So let's take a little look around the territory. So here's the first building that I think maybe we'll go take a look in. It's called the Ludskaya Izba. It's kind of the servant's house. So this is what most of these dvorцы would look like, where they would have a house where the servants would have their quarters, and this here, that there is the what is that called? Where they stored cold products. What's the name of that? I forgot. Anyway, it's like the refrigerator of the past. So let's go see if I can get in there and take a look. I can show you around the quarters. This is what they would look like. So you have what's called the furnace, or the pech in Russian, and it's this massive stone fireplace, basically, that there would be bunks on it. You can see here there's like a child sleeping up here, or up on the pech, and it would heat the room, but it would also serve as kind of obviously the warmest spot to sleep at night, because it's so big and so thick that the stones wouldn't get so hot that they would burn you. And then there's just other different things in here. They would have the room split into a male side and a female side. I think they always joke like this is the male side because there's the table and men are always eating and stuff like that. So. So that was the servants' quarters. This is the cellar. The cellar. That's what it's called. The cellar. So there's a room over here. We're gonna take a look at. I don't remember exactly what it is. You can see this kind of always gardens. Gardens everywhere you look. This is called the besiedka. Oh, it's locked. Well. That's too bad. Let's see if we can get a peek in at the window. Anyway, the besiedka there's very popular. It's like a place where you could meet and speak with people. It's like a common room, but they would have like different, like different cabin-like buildings. That would serve those purposes. Man, I'm disappointed. This one's also closed. This is like a gazebo type thing. There's there's 2 floors to it. So there's the first floor is closed and it's a common room, and then there's a second floor that I don't know. Maybe we could get at least a look from the side here. Second floor that you also would be able to have as like a porch. We are going into the hothouse right now. So this was a building that they had. They would use it's just like a hoop house or a greenhouse that people use nowadays. But this was a year-round hothouse, basically, that they would grow greens and even watermelon and pineapple in throughout the whole year, and they would heat it in the winter with wood. With a wood furnace. So you can see right now they're heating it, or they're growing things in it still. And there's little boys looking at me funny. Why is he speaking a funny language? The gardener, so to speak, and it's a pretty large home that you were able to grow things in. Let's see. So I just thought it was pretty interesting as well. On to the next house. So now we're going to the barn where they kept all the animals and the equipment. So we'll just take a quick peek in here, and then we'll be off to the next place. They have a blacksmith furnace here. Oh. So this is what they would call the stables, I think. So now we're gonna go to the house where Tchaikovsky lived and was born and grew up in and played in and all that. So catch you in the next video.